Hello, my name is John Edwards.
I'm Ian Lee.
And you're watching Hide and Seek. Now you might ask yourselves, who are we and why are we here? Hide and Seek Paranormal Research is a dedicated crack team of investigators that research the theories of the hauntings around Australia's most historical and unique locations. Now, some of them will be merely down to the age of the property. You get your creaking floorboards, you get your rattling windows, and a cold spot because of the draft. But on the other hand, there will be some buildings that have got a high level of activity, and that's why Hide and Seek got together and formed our team so we can go out there and crack the spirits head on and try and get some answers to the unknown, what so many people are in search of.
This building is steeped in history. Two histories, in fact. In 1859, it was a goldfields prison. 3 men were hung for petty crimes and are buried within the grounds in unconsecrated graves. In the mid-1880s, when the gold ran out, it became a ward, Jward, for the criminally insane, and it housed Victoria's most criminally insane people under horrific conditions.
Well, Jward was built originally as the Ararat County Jail. It was built during the 1800s when the gold rush was on here in Ararat, which you don't hear much about. It's been estimated there were upwards of 50,000 people on the gold diggings here in Ararat. And because there was a lot of criminals on the goldfields, of course, they had to build a jail. Things went along fine here in town until the mid-1880s and the gold ran out. And as they say, the people ran out. Population dropped to around 2,000 people in Ararat, and they decided they didn't need the jail anymore. This was the authorities. They closed it in 1886. The following year, 1887, they opened this place up on a temporary basis to house the criminally insane men, which were previously housed up at Arradale, of course. And it was only going to be a temporary arrangement, but they didn't close the front gate until 1991.
Two of our female investigators, Kate and Danielle, give a brief insight of the equipment that will be on hand for tonight's investigation.
We've got the infrared laser guided thermometer.
This is what we use to detect any changes in the temperature in the rooms or the cells. Spirits are believed to change the temperature, usually making it a lot colder in a room, so we can keep an eye on that.
Okay.
We've also got the EMF detectors. We've actually got 4 of them this evening.
This is an electromagnetic field detector. It'll detect any changes or fluctuations in our natural EMF readings. We've already been around and done base readings, so we know where those EMF readings will be.
Anything else?
John, I've got an EVP experiment set up in the chapel. EVP is electronic voice phenomena, or white noise. This is more commonly known. Trying to pick up ghostly voices on an electronic voice recorder. I've locked that off in the chapel so that there'll be no human contamination in that area for that experiment.
I do tours up here at Jward, and although I'm a bit of a sceptic myself and reckon that I can't pick up on these things, a lot of the people on the tours have indeed done that, and now we're talking about spirits. I've had ladies, or 2 ladies, drop out of the tours halfway down the cell block, about where we are now, and had to go and sit down in the restaurant. They felt decidedly queasy. I had a teenage girl come in here one day, bright as a button, got to the same point and instantly got ill and ran down to the toilet and got violently ill.
The main cell block in Jward holds many stories in itself, one of which was a gentleman by the name of Bill Wallace. He was here for 57 years. Upon his release when he was 103, instead of going home a free man, he opted to go to Howard Mental Asylum. Now, he lived there for an extra 4 years, where he come to his death at the age of 107.
Infamous self-mutilator Gary David Webb was also incarcerated here. Fingers, toes and other unmentionables were all cut off. After surgery one day, the inevitable happened. He stole a doctor's pen, unpicked his stitches and bled to death.
I don't know what it is. I have heard psychics say that they've got to that point and suddenly had a feeling of sadness come over them. They couldn't explain what it was. One psychic said it was coming out of a cell in the top floor of the cell block and spilling out onto the floor below.
Welcome to a suicide cell. Whilst Jward was still operational, there were many suicide attempts, most notably the one of Chinese inmate Angui, who hung himself in this very cell. Does his spirit still linger on, or is the mischievous poltergeist at work that makes this mannequin move 4 feet across the floor all by itself?
The only thing that's happened to me that I can sort of account for myself, one group I was working with one night that stayed overnight here, they gave me a digital camera at one stage and we went down the stairs down to the old kitchen downstairs. A lot of people believed before that a ghost walks up and down the stairs day and night. So they handed me this digital camera. And of course all the lights were off. And they said, "You take the camera." I said, "What do you want me to do with that?" And they said, "We want you to take photos of the stairs." I said, "What on earth for?" And they said, "Oh, well, we want to try and capture the ghost." And so I'm clicking away with the camera. And next thing they said, no, stop. You have to call the ghost out. And I said, "What?" So here's me at the bottom of the stairs calling out, "Come out, George, come out and play, George. Show yourself, George," in the camera, you know. "Show yourself over the second step where you supposedly dropped."
These are the steps that lead down to the underground kitchen, where allegedly the former governor collapsed after suffering from heart failure. The kitchen hands heard the tumbling and came out to investigate and found the governor at the bottom of this very staircase. A young boy has been witnessed on many occasions by unsuspecting eyes. Lingering smells, mysterious noises are being heard. You're left with an overwhelming feeling of depression upon leaving this very kitchen.
I do night tours up here as well. On one night tour, we walked into the West Wing, which is one of the newer buildings they put up here in 1939, and shone the torch into the first bedroom and someone was in the bed. And I nearly did you know what? I froze anyway. And I said to a couple of the young people with me, I said, "Do you want to go and check to see if that's a real person or whether it's a dummy?" Anyway, two of them finally sneaked into the bedroom and came out and said, "We think it's a dummy." And I left it at that. After they'd all gone and we went down to lock the place down, I went down the bottom of the West Wing, shone a torch into the bedroom and there was no one there and the blankets were pulled back. So to this day, I don't know if there was anyone in that bed or not.
Being here alone in the West Wing is enough to send shivers down my spine. Black phantoms wandering at the end of the corridor, disembodied voices, sudden drops in temperature. Are these the spirits of Jward's past trying to communicate with the living, or are they just echoes from a historical building?
Do the spirits of the tormented souls still remain inside the bluestone walls of this extremely magnificent building?
With so much death, suicide, torture and illness, we simply had to investigate Jward, Old Ararat Jail.
investigation of Jward got underway, myself and Ian spent last night in this building all alone. We only managed to spend 2 hours in the West Wing before we hastily departed. I feel I've got a draft right on my bottom legs, as if
You're a draft what?
my bottom legs, and I feel like I've got to stand to the wall for some reason. I'm feeling very, I don't know, uneasy the further we go down the corridor. But let's see what waits.
What's that noise? Hello? Hello? Anybody here with us?
Ian, behind me.
What's wrong?
Fucking hell, man. With having no prior knowledge and being guided to the location, our guest medium arrived to give a psychic reading of Jward. Well, here we found ourselves in the main cell block of Jward. Joining us this evening is our guest medium, Brett Favaloro. Now, Brett, is there anything you're picking up on in the vicinity of these cell walls?
A lot of violence, hell of a lot of violence, especially in this area here. A lot of basically pain around the hip area, all through the legs, a lot of yelling, screaming, that type of agitation, head and trauma. There's all body traumas around here. There seems to be a lot of hostility in this area here, right here. This is the best way of describing it. Heaps of people here. It just seems to be this major yelling, screaming, forcing people against walls, that type of thing. It's like being slammed against walls. People just wanting to, like banging on the doors. I'm hearing banging on the doors.
Yeah.
And it's quite intense. It's quite violent. It's just dread in this room. It's just absolute dread. And we're being watched 24/7. It's just shocking. Someone that keeps peering.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, here's Sam. You heard that too, did you? No, it's here, up here. Did you hear it?
Should we go and investigate what's
Yeah, we'll go and check it out. It's absolute fear with being up here.
Is that fear of each other or fear of the wardens?
No, it's just absolute fear. I've got to say more to do with the hanging noose. It's a real phobia. It's just wanting to pull away from it. Just wanting to get as far away as possible. You know, the moment that goes around your neck, you're gone. And it's an absolute fear. And they would hear the door swing, and it's just, it just swing and drops out from underneath you.
Are you getting any sense of it being used?
Well, I only get it, I do get it being used, okay, but it's not being used many times though.
While we're standing here, are you picking up any entities around?
I get a very aggressive, gruff guy. He just seems to be anti the world, basically. Very aggressive, would have been getting literally at the prime of his life, being dragged in here, kicking and screaming, to the point where he just caused upheaval, mayhem, is probably the best way of putting it. Now, would be like Gas or Gaz or Gaz, Gary, along those lines. I'm getting that type of name.
Okay.
This person has a lot of violence. He was very rebellious, so he would do things the same as Chopper Reed. Okay, I get that type of doing things to himself physically for attention.
Okay.
All right, so that's the type of person he was.
Is there any other entities that you're picking up on?
I get the name Bill Wallace. Okay. It's really funny. I feel quite a calm person. I don't feel aggressive. I just feel sedate, if that makes sense.
Now, It's your first time at Jward.
Yeah.
When you were driving and you got a first look at the building, was there any thoughts that come straight to your mind as you were driving up to the location?
Oh, shit.
Yeah? Fear and fright?
Yeah.
Because it is...
It's a very intimidating place.
Yeah.
It wasn't so bad being out. It's when you went through those gates. It's sort of like, oh my God. And you knew that was it.
Yeah.
It was that type of feeling.
It's certainly a place where you wouldn't want to be by yourself.
No. Like, I'm a medium, psychic medium. And I tell you, I probably wouldn't like to stay in here by myself. Even though I interact with spirits all the time.
Yeah.
They're normally ones that you can interact with well, or they're not going to do any harm.
Okay. Do you think there might be one spirit here tonight that could cause a bit of a problem when the lights go out?
I'll say Gary.
Would it be Gary?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you getting a surname for Gary?
I'm not getting a surname.
With our cameras now turned to night vision, Ian, Aimee and Lee investigate the spine-tingling walls of the West Wing.
We've just re-entered West Wing and it's feeling really, really uneasy at the moment. It's extremely cold. In fact, you can see your own breath, it's that cold. Now we're just making our way down the corridor to see if there's any spirit activity still in here.
It's freezing here.
Go down near the death trolley.
Is there anyone here that would like to talk to us? We mean you no harm. We give you permission to touch one of us or make a noise. We'd just like to know that you're here.
I feel like we're being watched, Aimee.
Yeah, same.
It's like there's a million eyes coming out of all the doorways. What the fuck was that?
What is that noise? It's the second time that happened now.
Yeah. We mean you no harm.
I just heard a footstep in here, man. There's a fucking footstep in here, honestly.
Right. Yeah, I was just going to say something just shifted then. Something just moved.
If that was you, please can you make a noise? If you are a female.
Hey, what was that?
You alright, Aimee?
Yeah, I just feel like seriously, like my eyes are starting to water and I feel like I've been hit over the head, like...
Well, we take her out,
Yeah.
Take her out, mate. Let's get out of here.
My voice is going.
Let's get out of here.
I'm sort of...
With the strange occurrences happening in the West Wing, the team decided to leave. After regaining their composure, Kelvin, Aimee and Steve investigate the shower block.
It's kind of weird. It's a very, very weird, strange feeling. The atmosphere is really thick in here. It feels really, really, really thick, like it's the sensation of walking through fog, if you like.
It's funny you say that because between the screen where I'm looking at you and my eyes, I'm having movement and foggy sensation coming straight between the middle.
That's what it feels. It's really strange.
I'm sitting in the bath. If you don't like me being in the bath, you can do something to make me jump out. Someone want to sit at this level?
Want to sit at that level?
Come and have a look. Just come down at this level and...
Okay, where am I? Oh, have we got that? We just seen there was just stuff go past the camera.
Could Kelvin have had an unexpected visitor slowly passing by, or was it just a natural occurrence? We left Kelvin and his team to investigate, while the rest of the team explored the old underground kitchen, where one of the investigators received a fright. Was he nervous, or was it a mischievous spirit playing with the team?
I still feel like it's quite busy by the ovens.
The ovens?
It's dark over there. You feel like if you stand near it, you're in someone's way.
No, it doesn't go off in the torch, will it? It's not on.
That's
No.
No, it's not strong enough.
Can you turn your torch on? Because it was on when I walked over. It's just disprove that theory.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, that's good.
Wasn't that? I didn't move my thumb.
If that was you communicating with us, Can you please do it again?
Thank you.
Please do that again. It's really cold here.
If there's any spirits in here, would you like to communicate with us?
What was that noise?
I just got a touch grabbed on the hand. As I was filming with the recorder, I had a hand come and grab me straight across the right hand like that. It wasn't tightness from the strap or anything, it was actually a grab. I could feel the thumb imprint into my hand, and as the footage will show, at that stage, and I probably ruined it for us, is that I jumped back and I sort of backpedaled just through fright and just a bit of shock.
If there's any spirits here who would like to communicate with us, give us a sign.
I'm feeling extremely warm right now. I'm going from really cold to really hot, and we're standing near the oven. So I don't know.
Of course, the oven's right here.
If that's got anything to do with it, but it's quite interesting. I've got cobwebs on my face.
Look at that.
I've got cobwebs on my face.
You got it too.
Look at that.
Look. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Oh, well done.
Ooh.
Shall we keep talking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it again, please.
See the common wire somewhere. There, where are you, Lee?
No, he's moved.
No, I'll sort it over.
This is something
Closer over here, yeah.
Can you see anything?
No.
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 It's a bit hard to tell in these old buildings if it's just wind.
Oh, it's hard to tell with the
Yeah,
holes
I
on.
can't. There's no. Let's turn the light on and check if there's any up. No, there's nothing up there. It's totally sealed. Oh, look at the cobwebs. No, that's just the reflection of
I understand that it's cold, but how would it blow?
Go
I've
through
seen
brick.
stuff move in that room, guys.
the. Alright, I'm going in. I'm going in. Hello?
Oh, is it?
Anybody here? Oh, hello.
Hello.
Someone's here.
Is that
Thank
you? Is that you, the governor?
Please do it again if it's the governor. Thank you, Governor.
Oh my God.
Much appreciated.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
very
much.
You get that on camera? Okay.
Yeah, I got that.
Please do it again.
Just once more.
One more time.
Just to
please.
confirm it.
Just tap on the machine. All you do is come close to it.
Just come close to this. Come close to me, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
With the unexplained activity subsiding, the team decided to end the investigation. EMF readings, unusual photographs, and physical contact made this investigation very interesting. Paranormal? We'll let you decide. Well, that brings our investigation of Jward to a close. Until next time, don't have nightmares, but do sleep well. For more information on hide and seek or any of our locations, please visit our website at www.hideandseekparanormalresearch.com.au.